Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet this pretty dress which can be made in any size. So for my dress I used a 4mm crochet hook and DK weight yarn. So thank you very much for watching and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So we're going to start off by making the top part of the front of our dress. And to begin this part, or to begin this section, we need to make a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once and then twice. Then take the first loop and pull it over the second loop, and then take the second loop and pull it all the way over your finger. You then want to take your crochet hook, go in through this space and pull tight, and there you have a slip knot. So now once you have your slip knot, we are now going to make our foundation chain, and you can make your foundation chain as long or as short as you like, but the length of your foundation chain will depend on how wide you want your dress to be. So you can make your dress in any size. You can do a baby size, a child size, a teenager size, an adult size. It's completely up to you, but the width of your dress will be determined by the length of your foundation chain. So I'm just going to make a little baby dress. So to know what size foundation chain to make, I'm going to take a t-shirt in the size that I want my dress to be, so just a little baby t-shirt, and I'm going to make my foundation chain up to this length, so up to the width of the t-shirt. And your foundation chain must also be an odd number. So you could chain 45, 51, 63, 75. It's completely up to you as long as it is an odd number. So make your foundation chain. So I have just finished making my foundation chain, and I ended up chaining 35 with a 4mm hook for a baby size, but you can chain whatever you like as long as it is an odd number. And now we are ready to move on to round one of our dress. So we are now on to round one, and this round is just a simple round of double crochet. So we're just going to do one double crochet into each and every chain, and we're going to work our first double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So here is the first chain from the hook, and here is the second chain, and into this chain we're going to do our first double crochet. So to do a double crochet, yarn over and go down into this chain, and yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have one double crochet into that chain, and now yarn over, go down into the next chain and do one double crochet into this one. Then yarn over, go into the next chain, do one double crochet into this chain as well, and just continue that all the way along for round one. One double crochet into each and every chain. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round one, and you should find that you have one less double crochet than you chained. So you should now have an even number of double crochets, and we are now ready to move on to round two. So to begin this round, you want to chain one and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now round 2 is another simple round of double crochet. So we're just going to do 1 double crochet into every stitch. So yarn over and go down into this very first stitch here and do 1 double crochet. Then yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet into this one. Then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch and just continue to repeat that all the way along. 1 double crochet into each and every stitch for round 2. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round 2, and you should find that you have the same number of double crochets at the end of this round as you did last round. And now we are ready to move on to round 3. So we are now on to round 3, and the next part of our dress is very simple. We are just going to repeat round 2, so the round that we just did, again and again and again until you reach where you want these straps to start. So you can do as many repeats as you like. You could do 7 repeats, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's completely up to you. And the bigger size you are doing, the more repeats you may want to work. But just keep working repeats of round 2 until you reach where you want the straps to start. So if you have a look at our work, this bottom section here, so where the foundation chain is, that is going to go around the waist or a little bit below the waist, and you want to keep repeating rounds of round 2 up until the very top or up until where you want these straps to start. And if you want your dress to have quite a high neckline, you want to do more rounds or more repeats than if you want your neckline to be a little bit lower. So just keep repeating round 2. So to begin each round, you want to chain 1 and turn. So chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet down into this first stitch here. Then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And 1 into the next. And do this all the way along. And then when you get to the end of the round, chain 1 and turn and repeat that again. Do 1 double crochet back into each stitch along and keep repeating that for as many times as you like. So I have just finished working those repeats and I now have 10 rounds in total. So I'm doing a baby size and I have 10 rounds in total before my straps. So if you are doing a baby size, you may want to do 10 or 11 rounds. If you're doing a toddler size, you may want to do 12 or 13 rounds. If you're doing a child size, you may want to have 13, 14 or 15 rounds in total. So just keep working those rounds until you reach the very top here. So you can see the bottom, it goes around the waist area, and then we have reached the top, and now our straps are going to come up along the sides here. So we're going to move on and work our straps. So when we do our straps, we do them one at a time. We're going to do this first one here and then fasten off and then do the other one in the exact same way. So to begin your strap, chain 1 and turn. And then I'm going to go down into this first stitch and do 1 double crochet. And then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And just keep doing this, keep working double crochets until you feel that your straps are wide enough. And for my dress, I'm going to make my straps 7 stitches wide. So I'm going to do 7 double crochets. So I have just finished working my straps, so I have done 7 double crochets, but you could do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's completely up to you. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then for round 2 of the straps, you just want to do 1 double crochet into each stitch along, and then you just want to keep repeating that round until you feel that your straps are long enough. And for my straps, I'm going to do 3 rounds in total. So I'm moving on to round 2. So I'm just going to do 1 double crochet into every single stitch, and that should be 7. So like that. So there I have round 2 completed, and then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and do my final round in the exact same way. But you could do 4, 5 rounds, it's completely up to you. And if you want your dress to have quite a high neck, then you may want to just do 2 or 3 rounds like I am doing. But if you want a lower neck or a lower neckline, do more rounds. So make your straps a little bit longer. So I have come to the end of my straps, and I have them to the size that I want them. So now we are going to fasten off. So pull your yarn out and your hook, and take some scissors and cut your yarn like that. And then we can move on to the other strap. And the strap on the other side is worked in the exact same way. You want to make sure that it is the exact same width and length as the other one. So my one on this side is going to be 7 double crochets wide and then 3 rounds long. So we're going to start off by inserting our hook into this very last stitch at the end. So go into this last stitch at the end here. Take your new yarn, so I'm going back with the same yarn I was using before. Place this over the end of your crochet hook, pull it through and chain 1. So you need to make sure that you're going into this very last double crochet at the end of the round, and then you can just go ahead and work this strap in the exact same way as before. So I have just finished working my other strap, and I have fastened off, and this is what you should have. And we have now finished the upper or the top part of the front of our dress. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make a second piece in the exact same way, and that will be the upper part of the back of the dress. So just in the exact same way as we did for this part, so the upper part of the front, you want to do the same thing for the top part of the back. So make a slip knot and then make a foundation chain to the same length. Do round 1, which is just double crochets, and then just keep repeating rounds of double crochets until you have the same length as the front. So do the exact same number of rounds, and then work your 2 straps to the exact same size as the front. And then once you have done that, you will have 2 pieces. So you should have 2 separate pieces, the top part of the front and the top part of the back. And they should be the exact same size. And now we can begin joining these and then working the skirt. So before we work the skirt of our dress, we need to join the front and back piece. And we're going to join these 2 pieces just along the very top of the straps. So along here and then along here. So you want to start off by taking a yarn needle and then either taking a long piece of yarn or one of the ends from where you fastened off. So when I fastened off, I left a pretty long end, and that way I can use this end or this piece of yarn to join my two pieces. So I'm going to thread my needle with this end, but if you just have little short ends here, it doesn't matter, just take a long piece of yarn. And then you want to line your stitches up perfectly. So I'm going to line them up perfectly and then go through to the opposite side. So go through to the opposite side of your work. And then we are just going to join using the whip stitch. So you want to go into the next stitch and through both sides and pull your yarn through like that. And then with the whip stitch we come back around to the same side, so you always go through the exact same side and then go into the next stitch and through both sides and pull your yarn through. Then come back around to this side again and go through both sides or both stitches and pull your yarn through again. Come back around to this side, go through the next stitches and just continue to do this all the way along to join the top. So do the whip stitch all the way along. There I have gone all the way along and I have joined this strap at the top. And now you want to do the other side, so the other two straps in the exact same way. So do the whip stitch all the way along to join this side. So I have just finished joining those two pieces along the top. So it's all joined here along the straps, and this is what you should have. So this is the neckline of our dress, and if you did want your neckline to be a little bit lower and not quite as high, then you will just need to make your straps longer. So that is how to make your neckline not as high. And then once you have done that, we are now ready to move on to the skirt of our dress. So to begin the skirt of our dress, you want to start off by attaching your yarn into any single stitch around. So you can go into any stitch that you like. So I am just going to go into this one here. So I'm going to go in the middle of one of the pieces. I'm going to go here and insert your hook through this stitch. Take your new yarn, place it over the end of your hook and pull it through. And then you want to chain one. So chain one, and that will attach your new yarn to your work. So now what you want to do is you want to yarn over and go down into this stitch. So this is the same stitch that you just attached your yarn into, and work one double crochet. And then you want to go into the next stitch and do 2 double crochets. So yarn over, go down into this stitch and do 2 double crochets. And then do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, but then do 2 into the next. And you want to just continue that all the way along until you get to the very end of this first piece here. So do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, all the way along until you reach the end of the very first piece. So I have just finished working that all the way along and I have reached the very end, and I have done 1 double crochet into this last stitch, and it doesn't matter if you finish off by doing 1 double crochet or 2 double crochets, as long as you're just doing that pattern of 1 2 1 2 all the way along. And then when you get to the end, you want to go ahead and get your other piece. So this will be the front piece. So get the other piece of your work and then yarn over and go down into this very last stitch at the end. So here is the last double crochet at the end of this piece. Go into this stitch and kind of pull your work together and do a double crochet like that. And then we are just going to continue doing our pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way along for this piece as well. So as I finished off on my last piece by doing 1 double crochet, that means that I need to do 2 double crochets both into this first stitch here of the next piece. So we have done 1, so I need to go back down and do a second double crochet into this stitch. But if you finished off by doing 2 double crochets into the last stitch of the last piece, then just stick with that 1 double crochet into that first stitch here and then do 2 into the next. So you just want to continue your pattern over and around to the next piece. So I have 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I'm going to just continue working my pattern all the way along. And you can see that that has joined our pieces along the bottom. And then we have this opening here, which is our armhole. So just continue working this all the way along. So I have finished going all the way along that piece. So that is the front of the dress, doing our pattern of 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way along. So I have come to the very end and I have worked 1 double crochet into this last stitch here. But as with before, it doesn't matter what you finish on. It doesn't matter if you do 1 or 2 double crochets into this last stitch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back around to our other piece. So back around to the back of the dress. And we're going to start off by working 1 double crochet into the first stitch on this side. So yarn over and take the other side of your dress. So go to the other piece, go to this very last stitch at the end here and do 1 double crochet like that. So like that, so there I have worked that double crochet and you can see that we have now joined the pieces on this side. So this is our armhole. And now you just want to continue working our pattern of 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets all the way along until you reach where you started. So as I did 1 double crochet at the very end here, I need to do 2 double crochets down into this first stitch. So I'm going to do a second one. But if you finished off by doing 2 double crochets at the end here, then you just need to do 1 into the first stitch of the next piece. And then just continue our pattern all the way along. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. So I have just finished working that all the way around, and you should find that you work 2 double crochets both into this last stitch at the end. And now to finish off round 1 of the bottom of our dress, we are going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet. So here is the very first double crochet of the round. And you want to insert your hook into that stitch. So go down into that first double crochet and yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. So work a slip stitch. And now we are ready to move on to round 2 of the bottom of the dress. So to begin round 2 of the skirt of our dress, you want to chain 1. And this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And now to begin this round, we're going to go down into this very first stitch here. So this is the stitch that our chain 1 comes out of. And we're going to do 1 double crochet. So yarn over, go down into this stitch and do 1 double crochet. And then we are going to move on to our first set of 2 double crochets here. So this is the first time that we did 2 double crochets into the same stitch last round. And you can see that when we did that, we kind of get this little V. So the stitches form a V, and we're going to go into that V in between those 2 double crochets, and we're going to work 2 double crochets. So yarn over and go to the first set of 2 double crochets from last round and go in between these stitches, so kind of in between the V, and do 1 double crochet, and then yarn over and go back down into the same space again, back in between those stitches, and do a second double crochet. And now we're going to move on to the next double crochet here. So this is the next individual double crochet. So where we worked just 1 double crochet into 1 stitch last round. So this one here, we're going to yarn over, go into the top of this stitch and do 1 double crochet. And then we're going to move on to the next set of 2 double crochets. So where we did 2 double crochets both into the same stitch. So this is the next little V, and we're going to yarn over and go down in between these stitches, so into the middle of the V, and do 2 double crochets like that. And we're going to repeat this all the way around for round 2. We're going to do 1 double crochet into every single individual double crochet from last round. So where we did just 1 double crochet into 1 stitch. And then where we did 2 double crochets into the stitch last round, we're going to go in between those 2 stitches, in between the V, and work 2 double crochets. So this round is the same thing as last round. We're doing 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around, just like last round, but just the positioning of our stitches is a little bit different. So we're going to yarn over and move on to the next individual double crochet here. So go into this stitch and do 1 double crochet, then yarn over and go to the next set of 2 double crochets, go in the middle of these stitches and do 2 double crochets like that. Then go to the next individual double crochet here, so where we worked just 1 double crochet into 1 stitch, go into this one and do 1 double crochet, and then go to the next set of 2, go in the middle into the V and do 2 double crochets. And just continue to work that all the way around. So I have finished working that all the way around for round 2. So I have done 2 double crochets at the very end here, and then to finish off this round we're going to go down into this first double crochet and work a slip stitch. And now we are ready to move on to round 3. So we are now on to round 3, and the rest of our dress is very simple. We are just going to repeat round 2, so the round that we just did, again and again and again. So you want to start off by chaining 1 and then doing 1 double crochet down into this first stitch. Then you want to do 2 double crochets in between the next set of 2 double crochets, then 1 double crochet into the next individual double crochets, then 2 double crochets in between the next set of 2 from the last round, and then you just want to repeat that all the way around. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, all the way around, and then finish off with a slip stitch in the first double crochet. And you want to keep repeating that round, so keep repeating round 2 until you feel that your dress is long enough. So you could do 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 repeats. It's completely up to you, depending on what size you are doing and how long you want your dress to be. So to begin every round, chain 1, and this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. Then yarn over and go down into this first double crochet and do 1 double crochet. And then go to the first set of 2 here and go in between this set of 2 and do 2 double crochets. Then move on to the next individual double crochet, so where we have just 1 double crochet on its own, and do 1 double crochet into that stitch. Then do 2 in the middle of this next V or this next set of 2. Like that, and just continue this all the way along into every individual double crochet. So here and here and here, do 1 double crochet, and then in the middle of every V or every set of 2, do 2 double crochets, and then just keep repeating that round again and again and again. So I have finished repeating those rounds, and this is what I have. So I did lots of repeats, and that gave me the skirt of my dress. And then once I came to the end of my very last round, I fastened off, so pulled my yarn out and my hook and cut my yarn, and then I went ahead and weaved all of my ends into the inside of my dress, and I have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos, and in the description box below this video I will leave a link to my Twitter account, so if you would like to go and follow me on there. I always like to post updates and pictures of upcoming tutorials, and I will also leave a link to where you can find some of my written patterns if you are interested. And thank you again for watching. Bye!